Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Ecstasy music. What is up, everyone? We are back. We had a little bit of a power outage, but it's okay. Hopefully the person that crashed into that pole is all right.
It was only an hour delay.
Yeah, a little bit of an hour delay. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC. Certified public accountants are public accountants. Please make them yours. 301 Oxford Valley Road, Yardley, Pennsylvania. 215-369-3300. Okay. So, everyone, we are here to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I have to mute this, and it is muted. All right? I thought
it was mine.
Oh, it was yours?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we are here to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Big game tomorrow. But before I bring in my co-host and the producer of the show, I have to vent a little bit because that's exactly what I do. Now, all week long, I've been watching radio shows on this platform, radio shows on Twitter, tweets on Twitter, Facebook statuses. And I'm a little disappointed in this fan base, to be completely honest with you, because a lot of people love Carson Wentz so much that even if this guy isn't necessarily 100%, but he wants to play and the doctor says it's okay to go, they would play him over Nick Foles because they would rather see Carson Wentz go in there and give it his all. It doesn't mean you have to win, doesn't mean you have to lose. They'd rather see Carson Wentz in there because they don't want Nick Foles to create a controversy. Now, if you're a real Philadelphia Eagles fan, you don't give a shit about any of that. You just want to win football games, all right? Do you guys remember how hard it was being an Eagles fan growing up? Now, I'm 26 years old. I started liking the Philadelphia Eagles around 2001. And for me, it was a fun time being an Eagles fan, but at the end of the year, you knew you had the potential to get your heart broken out. Now, I've put holes in the wall the size of the Grand Canyon. I've gotten grounded. I have to cover it up with, what is that thing? Chalk, plaster, what is that stuff called?
What stuff?
The stuff you cover holes in the walls with.
Putty?
Yeah. Okay, putty. So I would spend my early Monday morning covering up the holes because I was so angry at the Philadelphia Eagles for letting me down every single year.
How many holes did you punch?
Oh my God!
Over,
I broke
5, 10?
I broke my hand punching a wall one time.
When was that? What year? How old were you?
God damn. I was about like 13 years old, maybe.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so.
You had a lot of anger built up inside. We all did.
I did. And you know
that's one way to express it.
No, I did. But at the same time, it's like I don't get these Philadelphia Eagles fans, especially on this platform, because I'm sitting back and I'm watching Ralphie's show, The Fix, and people are like, oh, Carson Wentz is a franchise. We understand that. But at the same time, it's like Nick Foles went into L.A., and orchestrated a perfect offensive game plan to beat the best team in the league.
Best win of the year.
Best win of the year.
And it's December.
If Nick Foles goes out there and beats the Texans and Carson Wentz is 100% and ready to go, Carson Wentz is sitting in the pine. You know what the pine is, right? Like I'm pretty sure it's not wood on the Eagles sideline, but that's what we call it. It's the bench. He is sitting the bench if Nick Foles goes in there and beats the Texans tomorrow. And there's no other way around it. Listen, we are done with heartbreak in the city. We are ready to go. We are ready to go on a run, all right? And Nick Foles is the guy to do that this year. I'm not saying he's better than Carson Wentz down the road. I'm saying right here, right now, Nick Foles is the guy to bring us to the promised land because he is healthy. He's done it before. He has the experience. He's beating good teams when Carson couldn't this year, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, what do you have to say to that?
What's up? I'm Scott. You forgot to introduce me.
What is up, Scotty?
Ralphie on the beats, right?
Ralphie on the beats.
Also, yeah, last week did not pick us to win that game. Obviously, I was hopeful. Actually, I told you last week when we watched the game together at your friend Danny's house. But I had a gut feeling that we would somehow win that game, but I couldn't pull the trigger in my picks to win to us to win. It's honestly just. That game reminded me so much of Foles in the playoffs and Foles in the Super Bowl, and it kind of all came back. Was Foles spectacular? No, but he got the win, and that's all that matters.
He moved the fucking ball down the field.
And his connection with Alshon.
You couldn't believe what you were seeing.
No, his connection with Alshon could not be underrated. Just to chuck the ball up, and Alshon comes down with it. We haven't seen that all season.
And everyone's like, oh, it was such a bad throw. It was a duck, and it happened to work out. Wentz doesn't take risks like that. Nick Foles does.
Dude, who cares if it's a completion?
Exactly.
Literally,
It's a risk you have to
this
take in the
game,
NFL. It's all about risks.
You have to have the ball bounce your way sometimes.
You have to have balls.
You have to have luck. Okay, you can game plan, scheme, athleticism, talent all you want, but sometimes it just has to happen.
Yeah.
That's life. That's anything. So who are we to criticize that?
Exactly. And you know what? Carson Wentz hasn't done that the whole year. The whole year, Scotty. He's been doing check down after 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 check down.
Is that why Ertz has 100 catches?
Yes.
Precisely.
He has. If you look at his stats, it's around almost 100. I think it is 100 reception yards for like
100 catches.
100, whatever. And then 1,000 reception yards. That's 10 yards per reception. That's not great. That's
predictable, and it's kind of. I mean, not easy to game plan for because Ertz is obviously getting his yards and touchdowns.
That means he's the check down receiver. That's what he is.
I mean, you look at the great quarterbacks like Brady, Breeze. Rodgers hasn't had a good year, but we'll throw Rodgers in there as well. They obviously spread the ball around.
Yeah.
All these people don't have one target.
Yeah.
So that's how to be successful. That's what we did last year. We didn't have a number one target.
Right.
You had Alshon. You had Torrey Smith, Aguilar, Ertz. Even Trey Burton got in there too. Everyone got their yards and touchdowns, and that's how you're going to be successful.
Right.
And win.
And I know this fan base is blinded by the whole Carson Wentz thing because they know they want him to be the franchise, and he's going to be the franchise. All right.
I think it's a little overblown at this point. Like, dude, he is hurt. Like, let's be serious.
He's
Wentz,
very hurt.
Wentz is hurt. So let's just we're finishing out our season. We have a great backup Super Bowl MVP in Nick Foles, and we're taking it from there, one game at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. I mean, it's definitely being overblown. I think it stems from too, you said that Wentz hasn't played good all season, so maybe the Foles people are standing up and shouting out Foles' name, but I mean, where else would it stem from?
I mean, that's what I'm doing because I was right about Nick Foles the whole time, and you know what? It is what it is. People could say I've been blowing Nick Foles since I was 3 years old or whatever. It doesn't even matter to me because at the end of the day, I was right about the situation. So I guess I'll take that, even though it doesn't really add up.
It's definitely controversy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
until Wentz is healthy, it's Foles is your guy, and he's not going to be healthy the rest of the year. I don't care what anyone says. He could be cleared. We knew he was hurt even before the back issue.
Yeah.
We could just tell he wasn't as agile, wasn't as fast, and I think that doesn't have to do with him. He's never going to be like that again, like he was last year. It's just part of the recovery time.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know what?
It hasn't even been a year. Imagine if any of us tore ACL, would we be fucking out there?
It's a terrible injury.
Would we be out there fucking running and throwing the ball fucking, 60 whatever?
You just took the words right out of my
People
mouth.
running at fucking lightning speed, this is professional football.
It was
the NFL.
It was a 9 to 12 month recovery. They put him in 9.
And it just last Sunday was 12 months, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah, they put him in 9. They rushed him the fuck out there. They were like, get out there, work on your in the rain against the Colts, and do what you got to do. It's like they didn't even give a shit. They just wanted to put him out there, and it just bothers me as a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles that fans don't see this.
It's kind of reminiscent of old Howie Roseman and Andy Reid, where they would just throw things against the wall and see what sticks.
See if it sticks. Yeah.
So that's kind of what it reminds. And that's not the way to win.
No.
You have to be smart in your decisions, calculate things like we did last year.
Yeah. It
just seemed like a shit show this year, pretty much, right?
It's terrible. But anyway, we're gonna talk to the family real quick. Ralphie, is there anything over there on Facebook right now? All right, cool. But yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You got to put Foles in there right now. You got to stick with them, and you got to see what happens. Because if you go into Chicago with Nick Foles, if Nick Foles loses, at least you tried. But if you go, let me tell you something. If you put Carson Wentz in there against Chicago and he loses, half this fan base is going to attack the fuck out of this guy. Now, this fan base is full of a bunch of bipolar people. A ton. Angry bipolar people, all right? They will attack his Instagram. They will attack his Twitter. They will attack his Facebook if you put him in there when he's not ready to go and he loses that game. So do you really want to do that with a franchise quarterback? Think about it for a second. What do you got?
Tom says, sup, boys, round 2.
What's up, Tom?
What's up, Tom? Again, we already had a little heated debate with Tom.
Yeah,
it was
a
like
little
a pre-show, getting us ready for the show, right?
And then Greg says, sorry, kids, but I don't think he does. I think they lose tomorrow, but woohoo, they'll beat the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the Texans game yet.
Yeah, Greg said he might be there, so that would be cool. But yeah, right now that's about it. Over here on YouTube, we have Gongo saying, How's it going, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
And then Scotty chimes in, what's up, guys? And Roska says, what's up, boys? I'm ready for my Rams to beat the Cardinals with their 12th straight win. I want to see Nick Foles make another run as back-to-back Super Bowl champion. And that is a Rams fan saying that.
Why wouldn't you want that as an Eagles fan or whatever?
Because Eagles fans, dude, you know how dumb our fan base is. Like, I mean, there's a lot of smart fans, but when you run into a dumb fan, you're running into a dumb, and I mean dumb fan.
I mean, I definitely feel like sports have gotten more player-centric over the past couple of years with just like social media.
Yeah.
And, like you follow your favorite player and whatever. LeBron James is a perfect example, jumping from team to team to team. And I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not a fan of a team. So I feel like that's kind of where it stems from with Wentz a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's Philly sports in general. It's about the fucking team.
Yeah.
You know, and we got to drill that into your head. We got to beat you with a fucking baseball bat to get that into your head. I don't know.
Exactly.
But, like, that's the mentality, and that shouldn't change.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, you know?
You know?
That's Philadelphia, you know? Philadelphia is that nitty-gritty town, which is why they named the mascot Gritty on the Flyers, because it's a gritty town. And if people don't understand that by now, maybe you're just not a Philadelphia fan. Like, it's put two and two together. You know, it's a blue-collar city, all right? Hard-working people. Assholes. Big assholes of people. And you have to understand that it's weird.
I mean, I feel like most cities are about the team. I think like small markets, if you get like, I don't know, I think like, I don't even know an example. Maybe like Larry Fitzgerald, like he is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But even like Boston, like, you know, Tom Brady and the Patriots, I feel like that's about the team.
Yeah.
But obviously they have Brady and Belichick.
They have a great system there. We don't
Yeah.
have a good system.
Give me an example where it's like a small market team just focused on like one player.
One player, one team. It was
Yeah.
LeBron James in Cleveland when he was there.
Anything in football though? Football is usually more about the team.
No,
I'm trying to think.
I would say football is like
Any big time player that just takes over the entire team.
big time player that takes over the team.
And like they just care about that player.
Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers is a good example.
Yeah.
And I would even say Odell for New York right now. He pretty much
Yeah, but that's
dominates.
a big market.
Yeah, I think that's Saquon, but
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Rodgers, definitely. Okay, and then Chris Garland says he's a Cowboys fan, by the way. He's like, hate to admit it from a Cowboys fan. I was wrong about you guys last week since we got embarrassed. You guys still have a chance, but I do expect Dallas to win since they usually only win at home. I mean,
yeah, we're gonna get into our picks later.
I do expect you guys to win tomorrow, Chris. I'm not gonna lie, but if you don't, there's that potential that you could go up to MetLife Stadium next
I
week.
definitely think you're losing in MetLife, but I'm picking you guys to win tomorrow.
Just don't lose out because we can still win that division if it's possible.
Yeah.
Kevin McDonald.
Would we have won with Foles
Where?
the last Cowboys game in
Yes,
AT&T?
100%. Yep.
Because now why? Because he's healthy, or would they have called the game differently with the running in the first half?
The reason why we would
the
have
play
won.
calls, right?
The reason why we would have won with Nick Foles is simple. All right. Carson Wentz played some of the worst football I've ever seen in the first half of that
Besides
game.
the Saints game.
Okay, it was one of the worst halves I've ever seen ever. Nick Foles couldn't have done any worse than that. Second of all, the only touchdown Carson Wentz really scored, he was on the 1 yard line, and he passed it to Alshon Jeffrey to go to, I think it was tie the game up, or at least make it a game.
I was working during that game, so I only saw bits and pieces, but I think you're right.
Yeah, and he performed in the second half. That touchdown to Gollard should have stood, but other than that, no, I think we would have won with Nick Foles. I really do.
Just because he would have produced something.
Yeah, we went to overtime
also-
with Carson Wentz
And
playing as bad as he
and you
did.
know they called the game differently last week. It's more of an emphasis on the run.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And then they do that celebration where they're like touching their hands and like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever that was.
Whatever.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
That was Wentz's idea, right?
could-
I'm kidding.
I don't have a good.
I like Wentz. We're not here to shit on Wentz.
I don't have a good read on Wentz. Like he's some religious guy, but at the same time, you're like you look at him and it's like,
What do you
is it
mean?
really- I don't know. It's just like it's weird with Carson.
So what do you
Wentz.
think? Fake a little bit, or like?
Maybe just a little bit.
I think he's definitely a hard worker. He loves football. He loves the grind.
Yeah.
And that's literally what's most important in the NFL. Because if you're not trying to get better every single day,
Yeah.
you're in the wrong profession.
Mm-hmm.
As far as all the religious stuff and the hunting, I mean, those are his hobbies, beliefs, whatever. So you really
Killing animals.
can't really judge him off that. I mean, some people obviously do, but I think he's fine. I am worried about his mental state a little bit. I think he definitely has a strong personality, but for this to happen to you 2 years in a row, I mean, it takes a toll on you mentally.
Especially
if you want to talk about mental health with Josh Gordon, I mean, I would talk about Carson Wentz's mental
especially
health
with the same
at
guy
this
taking
point,
over for you and winning.
you know.
Dude, it was crazy. Last week, did you notice the death stare that Wentz gave the Foles when he produced? He was
I
like,
didn't.
I swear.
Or was it on meme on Twitter? Maybe I did see it.
Yeah, he gave him the biggest death stare because he was like, "This motherfucker's doing this again," and it's gonna. Carson Wentz reads stuff on Twitter.
Every athlete
You know he does.
I believe it. He's always on Twitter, so I think he definitely blocks a lot of it out. Like I said, I think he's a strong, thick skin, whatever, strong personality. But
Kevin McDonald 500 said, "You don't need Wentz this year. Let him rest and get ready for next year.
yeah,
And if Nick Foles takes us to the promised land again, he will be the greatest sports story in history. He will be your modern day Rocky." That's
if
what he would be.
If Foles wins again, which is very hypothetical because this team is
It's not good.
It's not as good
It's
as
not
last
good.
year. I mean,
Fire
probably
score.
not even close.
Mhm.
Awesome. There's a debate for Foles to stay the starter.
Yeah.
Until I would let him remain the starter. I think Foles will eventually fall off because I remember I was watching NFL Network this week or some show. They said whenever you make Foles the starter, when all the pressure is on him, then he falters. When he's in
Right.
the backup role, the savior role, whatever you want to call it, he fucking is lights out. Remember 2014? He started this team
Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, we were 11-point favorites, and he started off really rusty. He
and
looked
then
really
he got
bad,
hurt.
yeah.
He got hurt that year, and then Sanchez took
Against
over.
the Texans,
And
ironically.
then the following season, when Chip Kelly traded him to the Rams,
Mhm.
obviously that was
Well, Jeff Fisher's one of the worst coaches ever.
yeah. But if I don't know, if you're still a quarterback, you still do decent, and it was just dog shit, So that's something to consider.
Yeah, I
But-
guess. And Chris Garland says, "You guys could make the wild card, though, but I don't know if I see the Vikings losing because the Bears could rest last week." Actually,
The Bears won't rest.
They won't rest
because there's
them.
a chance. Especially, dude, we just saw the Seahawks lose to the 49ers last week. You
Yeah.
know,
the
anything
Seahawks
is
have
possible.
the Chiefs on Sunday night,
They're definitely losing that game.
and the Seahawks have Arizona the last week of the season in Arizona.
Yeah, the Seahawks gonna win one of those games, probably Arizona. But
Maybe.
they could lose both.
Never
Who the hell-
know.
Who knows?
It's the NFL.
You know.
Dave Roska says, if I had Foles on my team, he is the MVP of last year. I would put him in again to make another run."
Well, he's already in, so
Yeah, he's already in. Last year was a storybook. Was already like a storybook for him, going from planning to retire to Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, and people don't appreciate it around here. You want to ask me why? I have no idea. It just
Wait, what does he mean?
it's so weird.
What's he mean retire? Isn't that what
He
you
wanted
said?
to retire. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was debating it because he doesn't want to do another Rams type thing and suck somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break from YouTube real quick. You have anything else there on Facebook? Because this one's blowing up.
Yeah, so Walter Keith says the Texans have some key players out tomorrow. Won't be a pushover,
Miller,
but I
yep.
believe we'll still get the win.
Yeah, Lamar Miller.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Texans game, and we'll touch on game plan and stuff for that in a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean, we just have to discuss this because it's a touchy subject. Like, Foles shocks the world on Sunday. People still aren't giving him respect. I had Tom debating me for a good 10 minutes saying, like, "Oh, it was everyone else but Foles. Look at his
Yeah,
stat line."
it
And I was
wasn't a
like, "Well, I'm
spectacular
going to
game.
explain to you right now
It's
why
just
it
like
was Foles."
when you win a football game in this league,
Yeah.
why is your first thing is to pick apart the quarterback?
Yeah.
You know, it makes no fucking
Because people are
sense.
triggered. They don't want
You
Foles
know?
to win. They do not want Nick Foles to win. And
Especially beating that team on the road the way they did, up
Yeah.
fucking 30-16 or whatever.
they say
you
they
know?
love the fucking Philadelphia Eagles, but that's not true because you don't want Nick Foles to win, and it's so obvious. You're picking apart a guy that's helping you win because you don't want him in there.
It's like people are more. It's more of a controversy that we won than we fucking lost against
Yeah.
Dallas.
we
Literally.
just beat the best
you
team in the
know?
league, in my eyes, the best team in the league at their own stadium last week, and you're not satisfied. You'd rather pick him apart for what he did bad instead of what he did good.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's sickening. It's just like, it's like, are you all right? Like, do you have problems? Like, it's weird. It's fucking weird. And he's not the only one. Trust me. He's not the only one. He loves Wentz, so I can't really take it away from him. But whatever.
Got any more YouTube comments?
Yeah. Chris Garland said, "I agree. If Foles played you guys, wait.
If Foles
Foles
he's a
played
Dallas
against,
fan, right?
if Foles played against them, have a better shot versus us. But then again, look at the other side of the story. If Dak didn't give you like 10 to 14 points on 3 or 4 turnovers, then Cowboys win. Yeah, but how about the overturn call in the beginning of the game?
Yeah, and Dak is really turnover prone at this point.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
he's
Dak's not bad, but he's not good either. Like, I mean, he's like kind of in between. Like, he doesn't suck, but he's like,
he's gotten. But the thing is,
Yeah.
with Dak, he has gotten very lucky too. I mean, look at that throw to Amari Cooper. You
Yeah.
know, to win. So the league is about luck and just timing and making something out of nothing. Sometimes.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. You got it at times. You know, it's the NFL. You got to take risks. We got a lot over here on YouTube. Okay. David Roska says, "Are you saying this to troll me as playing my head because you don't want my Rams to win another Super Bowl this year?" We'll
Another.
try. They did
Yeah, I
one
don't-
before.
Yeah, what 01 or 2? No,
They beat Tennessee.
99. I
The
think
the
it
1
was.
yard stop.
Yeah, Dick Vermeil.
Yep.
I don't really get that comment though. I don't
No,
understand.
I don't either. Mr. Go Philly Eagles, what's up, YouTuber? If Foles wins another Super Bowl, that locker room will split in half.
I don't know. I think it should be
totally
100,
disagree.
Right?
To be honest with you, I saw them build a shrine for Nick Foles, which tells me one of two things. Number one, they have more fun rallying around Nick Foles, and number two,
Because there's no pressure.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no pressure whatsoever. If you put Carson Wentz in there, this whole
He's-
city
he's
is gonna like
expected
look
to
at him.
do
They're gonna be like,
something
"What?"
now.
And if he chokes, he's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, "You can't do that. Like you just can't do it."
And I just hate choking too. I'd rather you just lose
Yeah.
than like something, like a awful like play or throw. But that's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather you just come up short.
Yeah.
But Wentz had a lot of those ugly moments this year. You
Mhm.
know.
Chris Garland says, "Wait." Oh, Nikki C says, "Perfect analogy about Foles." What was that? Come back to me with that one. I forgot what I said. Chris Garland said, "Rams won't win it this year. Saints are getting in the Super Bowl."
I believe that too. I've been on the Saints all year. I'm not jumping off just after
He loves the Saints.
one slip up
Yeah.
at AT&T Stadium against the Cowboys.
That was bad.
Saints
That was really bad.
Saints are still the best team. To beat 2 back-to-back division rivals, not easy in the NFL. I think both games were on the road too, right?
I will say
in
this.
Tampa and in Carolina, coming out 2-0.
I
Not
will
bad.
say this. With Cooper Kupp, I think the Rams are better. Without Cooper Kupp, I think the Saints are better.
So one receiver makes the whole team.
Yes, because of the system. And Cooper Kupp is a great
I
slant
don't know, man.
wide receiver.
After watching last week, Goff was seeing ghosts all over that field.
He's missing Cooper Kupp. That's his go-to wide receiver.
Goff did not look good at all.
Yeah. So
I mean, he had a couple nice throws at the end to get back into the game, but
Chris Garland says if Bears win this week and the Rams win out, Bears don't move in the seating anyway.
well, the Rams have to win out. That's why the Rams play this weekend next
The
week.
Rams will win out.
But that's not a guarantee.
No, they will.
I mean, that's why the Bears would play though.
Yeah.
Week 17.
Exactly.
Because the Rams could lose,
And even if they do finish with the same record, the Bears had that tiebreaker over them.
Yeah.
even though the Bears beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the
Yeah.
tiebreaker, so the Bears would be.
Oh, the
The
2
second
seed.
seed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Bears have to win both games, and
Yeah.
the Rams have to lose one game.
And the Bears have Minnesota, and the Bears have who's the one tomorrow? I don't even know. I'm drawing. a blank.
San Francisco.
Oh,
That should be
They're gonna
away.
win both. They're gonna
Yeah.
win both of those games. Yeah, Minnesota's not winning. We're gonna get into the playoffs. Chris Garland says, honestly, Eagles could be a scary team to being the defending champion.
We would have to go to
Super Bowl Foles.
Chicago. Sorry, not to interrupt you.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I'm going to Chicago if they go. Like I already said that there will be no show
It would
that
just be
week.
a fun game. I mean, I'm not expecting to win, but
Mm-hmm.
anything's possible. It would be the Bears' first time in the playoffs. Matt Nagy, rookie head coach,
Mm-hmm.
second-year quarterback. So you got that on our side.
Matt Nagy's a good coach.
And you're talking about Super Bowl MVP. They just did this whole thing, won the whole tournament last year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, people don't want to give him props because they, you know what happened?
like I said to you Sunday night too, it's so hard to win a Super Bowl in a playoff game. Like that's literally like something that you're just like you have or you don't have.
Yeah,
And when you have it, you can't
have it.
recreate that with just anybody
exactly.
to win in the playoffs. Look at Tony Romo; his whole career couldn't win the playoffs.
And he was good.
People couldn't win. Look at Foles and Wentz. You never know what you're gonna get until you play
We
that
don't-
first playoff game.
We don't know if Wentz is a fucking choke artist piece of shit. Like we don't know that. Like he could go to the playoffs and completely disappear.
Mhm.
Like you can't say
That's
that
what
he
I'm saying.
would have.
That's what Romo did in the playoffs.
Like, you can't-
most of the time.
You can't say that he wouldn't go into the playoffs and turn into Donovan McNabb. Like you don't know that.
And
Nick
McNabb
Foles was a
good.
guarantee.
McNabb was good in the playoffs, just the championship games. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
So
Like I've dealt with so many heartbreaks with the Eagles that I'm so used to like
Yeah,
players choking.
You mentioned
And
that
last year
earlier.
was a fresh it was something new. Like you didn't.
Well, I think
see it.
that definitely made it mean more because we have suffered so much. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're always winning, I feel like it doesn't mean as much to you. But when you've seen so many shortcomings, it just means that much more.
Yeah, exactly. And Bryce Blackwell says we can get in with Seattle losing both of their games.
Yeah, I mean, it's more likely the Vikings route than the Dallas or Seattle.
We have
route.
a 33% chance to make the playoffs. Alexander Verrucci says, "What's up, fam? See you guys finally got it fixed. Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
little bit of a power outage. We don't
only
know
an
what
hour,
happened.
only an hour, right?
Yeah, it was about an hour.
Just like being late for school. you know?
Exactly. You're an hour late. Get a little pink slip. And
Yeah,
that's about it.
if you're not late for work, you're fired.
You're fired. Okay. David Roska says I was trying to say you are playing my games in my head with this Foles and Wentz crap situation. Like you don't like knowing the Rams are heading to the Super Bowl. For me, I know they will. The Rams. Listen, the
I think
Rams.
they're done.
The Rams aren't going to the Super Bowl without Cooper Kupp.
Can they win one?
They're not
Can
doing
they
it.
win one game in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think they will beat Seattle because it's going to be Seattle versus Dallas most likely.
Yeah.
But if Dallas wins, who knows, dude? I'm not taking. I mean, Dallas has a shot still, but I think if you play Seattle, I
Getting
think
shut out didn't help their issue.
Yeah.
You know, it's
they own Seattle though, the Rams. So
yeah. Chris Garland says if Cowboys handle their business and get in, I don't know if you want them to play Saints or Rams. Honestly, that's why I kind of want you guys because you have a better chance of upsetting the Bears than the Vikings do.
So he doesn't want to play the Bears. I think you lose to the Saints if it's in the Superdome.
Mhm.
If they play the Rams, I think they could possibly win.
Right. Anything over there on Facebook, Ralphie? Nope, not yet.
I think they lose to the Rams. Who knows, dude? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I think you have a better shot against the Rams than the Saints at home because the Saints will be looking for revenge after that game.
Exactly.
You know?
So you want to move into our picks?
Let's get to it. Well, we didn't really touch on the Texans game yet. Do you want to talk about
Let's do
Eagles
it.
Texans?
Yeah, you start off.
So we got Eagles Texans tomorrow. Obviously, the biggest game of the year.
Mhm.
I know you're going. A couple other members of the fam are going.
Mhm.
This game really didn't mean much until obviously we won last week. People were like taking this game off. It's like a holiday weekend. Let's just whatever do our own thing.
Mhm.
But now this game means everything.
Literally
If you
everything.
lose this game, you're eliminated
This is
in
it.
all likelihood. But if you win, hope stays alive for another week. And honestly, if you win this game, you probably get in because you're playing Josh Johnson next week.
Yep.
And for the Redskins, and Minnesota will most likely lose one of two games. The keys to this game, the Texans are a pretty damn good team. Their defense, obviously, with J.J. Watt, the Javion Clowney. They have who's their corners? The one from Jacksonville.
Bouye, AJ Bouye.
He's not there anymore. Is he still there? No, he's
and then Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu from Arizona.
Mhm.
And then, the Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins connection is obviously, one of the best in the league.
Yep.
And I was saying to Kyle earlier, I'm hoping that we don't get like a Russell Wilson performance out of
Yeah.
Deshaun tomorrow because that would just fucking
Yeah,
suck.
but his knee still isn't back to 100%.
Yeah, he's the most sacked quarterback. The O-line hasn't been stellar. It's all, honestly, but you know what this game's really about?
What's it about?
It's about Nick Foles.
Yeah.
It's about Nick Foles' effect. What will the offense look like again under Nick Foles?
Yeah.
Because this Nick Foles to Alshon Jeffrey connection could be unstoppable, just like it was in the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game last year against the Vikings.
What's up, Sports Live? How you doing?
What's up, man? The Nick Foles Alshon, it's just like it's special, dude. It
Mhm.
really is. Alshon looks like a true number one receiver with Foles under center.
Well, that was a real quarterback.
And
man.
then and then that also will free up Ertz because I feel like I think the Rams definitely tried to double team Ertz last week. That's why he didn't get as many looks and as many yards,
Ertz is fucking.
and why
overrated.
everyone was fucking
Let
mad.
me ask you that question, okay? Let me ask you that question right here, right now. Do you think Zach Ertz is overrated?
No, not this year.
Okay, so the reason why I'm about to say this, and I know a lot of people got triggered from this comment.
He's the best tight end in the league this year.
Okay, so
besides-
first of all, let's get this straight right here, right now, family. Zach Ertz is not a tight end. Okay, he's a slow wide receiver. He can't block. Whenever the wind blows, he gets knocked down. He's not a tight end. They label him as a tight end because he doesn't have wide receiver speed.
I thought that in the beginning of the year, but I think after so much production and touchdowns in the red zone, that's all I care about.
He doesn't have wide receiver speed. That's why he's in the tight end position. The guy can't block.
He's way too big to be a wide receiver.
What?
He's way too big to be a wide receiver.
He's a slower wide receiver in the tight end position.
He looks more like a tight end.
He's
though.
not a tight end.
He looks like a tight end
He's
more than a wide
not.
receiver. You know.
The guy on San Fran is a tight end. Kittle, he's a tight end. Okay. Gronk is a tight end. Travis Kelce is a tight end.
Done.
Ertz is not a tight end.
Come on. Ertz looks like those guys more than looks like.
No, he doesn't. He's not beefy.
Julian Edelman, or anybody.
Yeah, he's not a tight end.
I don't know. I think Ertz definitely he deserved the Pro Bowl.
No, he did. I mean,
he might be a first-team All-Pro.
Yeah, he got 100 receptions. Most of them were checkdowns, but
he's
going to
set the franchise. He's going to set the NFL record for receptions.
Yep.
But back to what I was saying, Ertz, having Alshon as your true number one opens Ertz up even more.
Mm.
So that's what I'm excited for. Obviously, the running game, to have that be such a big piece again with Foles. Even look at Wendell Smallwood, 2 touchdowns out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if Clement's playing or not.
Corey
but
Clement.
you got Josh Adams. Sproles, again, is some type of weapon. Sproles has looked decent since he's come back, out of the backfield. They've getting him involved in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm picking us to win this game by like 3 points.
Right.
We're a 2-point favorite at home against the Texans. I'm going to say it's like 24-21, something like that. Eagles win. I think our O-line will play decent against Watt and Clowney, but I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game. I mean, both of these teams need the win. Now, obviously, we need it more than Houston, but if Houston wants that first-round bye, they need to win. They need to win this game.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a tough game, but at the same time, I still think we win by 10 points.
Foles just gives you confidence after that win last week.
Foles always gives me confidence.
You know?
Whenever Foles plays, I think we're going to win. That's just how I am because I'm like a huge Nick Foles fan.
He won the Super Bowl.
He won the Super Bowl. Whenever he plays, I think we're going to win. Whenever Carson plays, I somewhat think we're going to win, but then I realize that he's having a down year, and then it kind of just transitions. Yeah.
I mean, we should have won 3 games at least that we lost this year. It's like beating a dead horse, but Minnesota, Carolina, 1 Dallas game,
Yeah, Bryce, that's what I'm saying. You said Wentz did throw to Jeffrey last year, just saying, where has it been this year?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's my point.
Another thing you could say is Jeffrey had surgery in the offseason too, and he looks fine to me.
Yeah, he looked great. He had 180 yards on something.
You wouldn't even know he was hurt last year, or didn't he play through an injury? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
It was a rotator cuff.
Yeah, rotator cuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Bryce Blackwell says Eagles 23, Houston 20. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have.
I have the Eagles winning 31-21.
All right, how do we get a 10-point win? Just from Foles? Or?
No, we get a 10-point win because I feel like our defense is going to ball out. They play with a better pace now that Nick Foles is in at quarterback.
They really did play, but LA did not have DeAndre Hopkins on the field. You could be DeAndre Hopkins.
What?
LA did not have
what?
The Rams, they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins?
Yeah.
No, they didn't have Cooper Kupp on the field.
I'm saying they didn't have
a type player. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
They didn't have a type player like him on the field last week.
Okay, gotcha.
You could like Brandon Cooks all you want. You could like Cooper Kupp, but I would, I think Hopkins is a lot better. And Hopkins against Le'Veon Blanc, I don't know how I feel about that.
They put Maddox on him.
Yeah, Maddox is the savior now, right?
Maddox is a stud.
He's good. I don't call him a stud.
He's a stud.
He looked
Did you
good
see the
last
way
week.
he got up in the receiver's face?
One game.
Okay, it is one game.
One game.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's better than what Jones has produced this year already.
Yeah, Jones has definitely sucked this year. It's a shame, but hopefully he can come back because he was a 2nd-round pick. So you need those picks to turn out to win games.
Sports Live in ATL said, "How are you guys feeling?" Oh shit! The comment went up. How do you guys feel having Wentz then?
What do you think I had a Stephen A. Smith moment there when I was?
Wentz, then Foles, then Wentz, now Foles. Yeah, it was kind of like that. Would Eagles consider trading Wentz? Eagles seem to play better with Foles. That's a fact. Hey, listen, you're reading my mind, Sports Live, but the fact of the matter is that we invested so much in Carson Wentz that we're just not going to give Carson Wentz up, and that's the fact
there's no
of the matter.
reason to. He's a good player. Is he great? That still be to determined.
Yeah. Now everyone else on this platform would say he's great, and you can't. There's nothing you
he
can
had
do
a
to
great.
trade him.
He had a great
year.
Season.
He had a great season, but his rookie year, he had a great start. Then he fell
What
off.
would you call this year? I think I would call this a good year.
No, I would call it very average. Like
his stats.
The stats looked good, but most of them were checkdowns. Okay, and when you do checkdowns, it's easier to rack up yards. And I just think it's Fugazi.
I really
do.
only care about win-loss record too.
Yeah,
But at the day of fantasy and the stats, people care about stats. So,
right.
you
Exactly.
know.
Philly Jim says
People were fucking mad at Ertz last week too because they lost their fantasy game because Ertz only had
because
5 points.
he didn't have his favorite quarterback.
You know, people were mad though, like really mad.
You want to chime in, Ralph? Here.
Yeah, so Walter also says, do you think Tate will start seeing more passes with
I
Foles
forgot
starting?
about Golden Tate.
Oh yes, I do. Who
Just stop
who asked that?
Walter Keith.
Walter Keith. Good question.
Just stop throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage to Tate.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a play that they run.
They always every week.
Yeah.
Like let's get more creative than that with Tate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just tired of seeing that.
Well,
It's a pet
you
peeve.
have to
It's a
use.
pet peeve of mine.
You have to use Golden Tate. Like, what are you gonna do? Just stick a thumb up your ass and just watch him do whatever? You know, you
Yeah.
have to use.
Yeah,
him.
use Aguilar or Tate. Use somebody besides
Yeah.
Jeffrey and Ertz.
Like you got him for a third-round pick. Third-round pick is very valuable. You know, and you gave up that third-round
Could
pick
have got a corner
for a
right?
30 year-old wide receiver.
That probably
So,
won't be here next year.
I think he will be. I think you're
He
going to
hasn't
resign him.
produced enough to re-sign him.
Yeah.
You know, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So who knows?
I don't
But
think.
good question, Walter. It's a good one. Philly Jim says Lamar Miller has been ruled out for the game. That's big for us.
Yeah, I think whatever. I mean, it's all right.
Well, we stopped Todd
I
Gurley,
don't
so
think.
it's
I
not
don't
really
think.
matters.
I don't think he's that much of a stud, Lamar
Yeah.
Miller.
We didn't
you
really
know?
stop Todd Gurley. I apologize for that.
He got hurt. He got
Yeah,
injured.
yeah,
right?
he got-
We took him out of the game.
Yeah,
Stop
that's
him.
true. Maddox has been good since University of Pittsburgh. Maddox is a stud.
He was a 5th-round pick, right?
Fourth round pick. Sports Live and ATL says Wentz has been hurt 2 years now, and Foles and Eagles mix well. They might want to consider keeping Foles as a starter.
Guess we'll see. We'll see if he
I'm
makes
with
the
you, Sports
playoffs.
Live. I'm with you.
We're living in the we're living in the
Oh,
moment.
man.
We're taking one game at a time. So
Yeah.
people change their opinion every fucking day, let alone every week.
But if Wentz keeps getting hurt, then play Foles, and winning games just would be a serious issue. Just saying. This is an Atlanta fan talking. So, and we beat them last year, and he saw that Nick Foles
And we beat them
so-
this year too with Foles.
with Foles both times.
Wentz beat them too, though. Sorry.
Yeah, see you
Sorry,
later.
Falcons fan.
See you later, Sports Life. Wentz didn't beat them. The fucking
Yeah,
defense beat them.
Whatever. What was that like?
15
16. 16.
16,
Yeah,
15.
16. I mean, it was 2016. They won that game.
Philly Jim says, "Do you think Dallas? Do you think Dallas loses to Tampa and the Giants to set up an epic collapse as the Eagles win
It
division?
would-
It's possible.
We would all
like-
be fucking freaking out. I
Yeah.
mean, both those games would be at 1. So imagine the stadium if
But
Dallas.
but
Imagine the stadium if Dallas loses.
would we be freaking out? Because if that happens and we win the division and get a home game with Nick Foles, you're gonna hear these same asshole fans saying, "Put in Wentz, put in Wentz."
Does it matter if it's on the road or at home?
Kind of. Because there's stupid idiots in the fan base that are like, "Oh, we want Wentz in there no matter what." So, would it be good?
Wentz is fucking hurt. Can we just
He
move,
is
Can we
hurt.
just move on? We'll revisit Wentz next season
Yeah.
in the off season. You know.
Chris Garland says Dallas won't lose out. He's also a Cowboys fan, but we'll see, Chris.
I mean, we're not predicting it. I mean, are you gonna change your pick to Tampa tomorrow if the line changes?
I think I'm picking Tampa regardless. Alex Sanchi says, "What's your Instagram, Scotty?"
My Instagram is Scott_BOUL.
There you go, Scott.
Scott Bowl. All right, do you want to get to our picks? We got 20 minutes left until I got to go for a while of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Okay, so let's go to the ESPNs. We got the lines because Kyle is the line master over here.
Yeah, I'm really good.
He loves gambling, loves blackjack, poker.
Yeah,
Atlantic
I'm more
City.
of a poker player, but
Oh, shit, we forgot we got games today.
yeah.
You remember that? We got Saturday games.
Uh-huh.
So we got a game at 4:30. The Josh Johnson-led Washington Redskins will be playing the Tennessee Titans. Titans are an 11-point favorite. We'll keep this-
Titans with the spread.
Yeah, we'll keep this short. Titans will win. Redskins will be officially limited from playoff contention.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel bad for the Skins a little bit. We were both. I know you were high on them with Alex Smith at the beginning of the year,
Mhm.
but injuries happen. Look at Wentz.
Yep.
You know, but they're decimated. Really good game tonight at 8:20 NFL Network. Ravens at the Chargers. Chargers are a 4-point favorite. You have Lamar Jackson against Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen. This is a pretty good game. I'm taking the Chargers, though.
Yeah, I got the Chargers. I got the Ravens on the spread, but I got the Chargers.
Chargers are at home. Ravens could miss the playoffs if they lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks for them. We already picked our game. We're a 2.5 favorite now. I think I said 2 earlier. I'm
Yeah.
taking the Eagles, right?
That's big. 2.5 is big because it was a pick 'em when it
I'm surprised
started.
this game didn't get flexed to 425, but
Well, it's not going to because the 425 game
CBS.
is
What?
something else. Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't think
bigger.
there's a good game. There actually isn't. Oh, yeah, Steelers Saints. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But you're taking the Eagles, right?
Yep.
Giants Colts in Indy. Indy is a
Colts.
9.5 favorite.
Colts.
I'm taking the Colts too. I think I'll give the Giants a shot. I think that line's a little big.
It is big. It's huge. I think the Giants will cover the
It
spread.
should be like a 5-point or 6-point line.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Colts too.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars Dolphins in Miami. I'm taking the Dolphins. It's Miami by 3.5. Jacksonville just sucks. I already picked them. I've gotten bitten in the ass picking them too many times.
I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Jaguars stink, dude.
Yeah.
Dolphins are still alive, so they need to win. Meaningless game. Packers at the Jets. People are picking the Jets. I don't get that. I'm taking the Packers here. I don't care if it's in New York.
The Packers stink, dude. Like they really do.
I mean, they were competitive
But
with Chicago last
but they
week.
are on a turf field.
They're beating the Jets. They're Aaron Rodgers. That'd be a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah.
It's not like they have all these injuries or anything.
Yeah. Aaron
you
Rodgers kind of played like a pussy this year, though.
He wasn't good, but he's big enough to beat the 4-10 Jets with is Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
Todd Bowles will be fired after this game, most likely.
Think so?
Yeah, he sucks, dude. He's been there since 2015, and they haven't made the playoffs once.
Yeah.
So it's about to be 2019.
Right.
Taking the Packers or Jets?
I am taking the Jets
What the fuck? How are the Jets gonna win this game?
because
dude?
the Packers suck.
Dude, they. What do you mean? They almost beat the Bears.
Jets are
Whatever.
home.
All right, it's another game for me on top of you.
Okay. Yeah, look at my record to yours.
Yeah, what, 4 games?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Not
It's
really.
a big lead.
Yeah, right. All right. We should keep track of that, see who wins at the end of the year.
All right.
Bengals, Browns, the rematch.
Yeah.
Cleveland by 9.5.
Yeah,
I'm taking-
times have turned there.
I'm taking Cleveland, but that's a big line.
Yeah.
Bengals won last week. They beat the Raiders.
Special shout out to Ralph. He said Cleveland would turn the page.
And they kinda have.
And they have.
They have 6
Now, they didn't win
wins.
8 games, so
They-
I'm not going to
they
give them credit
st-
on
they,
that.
They still
but
could. If they win the next 2,
they can't win 8 games.
8-7-1. If they win the next 2, they're 6-7-1
Fuck,
right
they
now.
They can.
If they win the next 2, they get to 8.
They can.
I mean, if they get to 7, that's still an accomplishment. Hell, it's an accomplishment right
Right
now.
now, it's an accomplishment.
So Browns or Bengals?
They just beat the fucking Denver Broncos in Denver.
That game sucked, but
It was
they
terrible.
barely won.
What were you saying?
Browns or Bengals?
Browns.
Game that we're all going to be
Marvin Lewis will get an extension after that game.
Oh God, he'll be fired too.
No, he won't.
Hopefully, if he doesn't, that's just a travesty at this point.
I think that he has something against them.
Or they have something on him, or he has something
he
on
has
them.
something on them.
All right, next 2 games we'll be paying very close attention to as Eagles fans. Bucks, Cowboys. I don't have the line for some reason on here. Do you know what
7.
the line is?
7.
Cowboys by 7. That's a
Yeah.
big line. I'm taking the Cowboys. It's the Bucks. They suck.
I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good for you.
The reason why I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 1, Dallas sucks. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing for pride. Number 3, Jameis.
playing for pride. You say that every week.
Number 3, Jameis Winston wants
Are they
to prove that
playing-
he's not a scrub.
Are they playing
Number
for
4,
their head coach?
the Cowboys suck.
Are
What?
they playing for Dirk Cutter's job too?
Who is that?
The Tampa Bay head coach.
Number 5,
You
they're
just-
playing for the Tampa Bay head
You
coach.
just had a Stephen A. Smith moment there.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's Dirk Cutter? Okay. All right. Next game. Lions, Vikings, Minnesota by 6. It's in Detroit. I'm taking the Vikings. Sorry. I think I was gonna take the Lions, but who do I want the Lions? This is a tough game to pick. I'm taking the Vikings, so I'm gonna pick them to lose next week.
You're a piece of shit. I'm taking the Lions, and the
I'm
reason why I'm taking the
Vikings.
the reason why I'm taking the Lions is number 1, we need them to win. That's
Yeah,
number
we
1.
do.
Number 2,
It's upset season, upset city.
number
you know?
2, it's a divisional game. Anything could happen. Number 3, the Vikings are on the road. Number 4, the Vikings just killed the Miami Dolphins at home, which means there's a time for a letdown game. Number 5, they're going to lose. Take your bank, put all the money you have on the Detroit
Are
Lions
you
tomorrow.
serious?
No, I'm not serious. Don't do that. I'm
It-
taking the Lions outright, though.
It's Minnesota by 6 on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Of course you are.
Bills, Patriots in New England. New England by 13.5. I mean, this should be New England.
13.5 after that fucking horrible game last week.
Bills suck. Patriots own the Bills. Patriots own the Bills and the
Oh,
Jets.
my
Patriots, right?
All right, yeah, give me the Patriots.
Falcons, Panthers, meaningless game. Cam Newton hurt. I'm taking Atlanta.
I'm taking Atlanta as well.
Atlanta by 3.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
We're on the same page there.
Bears, 49ers. Bears. Does it
What's
really
the
matter?
line?
Chicago by 4.5.
That's it?
Yeah, it's low. I don't know why. It's in San Francisco, but who cares where the game is, really?
Well, San Fran did just beat Seattle.
By 3.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. Bears are good.
I'll take the Bears.
Rams, Cardinals. I don't have a line for this one either for some
Rams,
reason.
Cardinal, Rams.
Yeah, Rams will kill them.
Yeah.
Game that actually means a hell of a lot. Steelers, Saints.
Saints.
425
Saints.
in New Orleans. Saints are 6.5 favorites.
Saints.
I'm taking the Saints too.
Yeah.
Steelers lose this game. They won last week, so that helped their playoff chances. But it's only one of those teams making the playoffs. Steelers or Ravens. So we'll have to see who it is. Probably the Steelers.
Mhm.
But
Chris Garland just says, "We suck. Wonder about your Eagles then." Hey, we're still in contention, man.
yeah, beat the Rams.
Yeah.
You know.
We beat the Rams and you beat the shitty Saints. So
And
there
we
you go.
won on the road too.
Yeah.
You guys only won at home.
Yeah,
by
you won at home.
by 3.
Yeah.
We scored 30. You scored 13.
Yeah.
Chiefs Seahawks Sunday Night Football. Kansas City by 1.5 in Seattle.
KC.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City too.
Even though they don't have Kareem Hunt and they killed their season, I'm still taking Kansas City.
They're still gonna get the number 1 seed.
No, they're not.
You think the Chargers will?
Yeah. Dude, the Chargers are the better team.
Well, Kansas City's got to lose one more game.
They're going to.
To
the
who?
Chargers.
They already split.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. Did they?
Yeah, they played in week 1. You're an idiot.
Did they?
Yeah, they play. Who do the Chiefs play next week? Let me look it up real quick. They play the Raiders. They're gonna go 2-0.
Chris, we didn't lose to the Saints. We got our asses kicked to the Saints.
You've had a lot of Stephen A. Smith moments today.
You have.
No.
Fucking Hopkins on the Rams.
I said they don't have a player like Hopkins.
Yeah.
That's really what I don't know how you didn't get that.
Okay.
Okay, so Kansas City, Monday night probably the worst game. Doesn't mean anything. Broncos Raiders, taking the Broncos.
What's the line?
Denver by 3. It's in Oakland.
Oh, I'm taking Oakland. Give me Oakland.
Oakland sucks.
They do suck, but
And
still.
they're playing for Vance Joseph jobs. You heard that report about Mike Shanahan this week?
No.
That he was like they almost
Come back to
they
Denver.
almost brought him back last year, but somebody vetoed it.
He's one of the most overrated coaches of all
He
time.
won 2 Super Bowls with
Yeah,
them.
because John Elway.
Yeah, that team was loaded. John Elway,
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp,
Yeah, they had a good team.
Terrell Davis.
John Lynch.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did they go to 3?
Was John Lynch on the Broncos?
No, he was on the Bucks, but I don't know if he might have played there first.
Yeah.
Look that up real quick. John, well, now he's the general
Manager for
of
those 49ers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John Lynch. He was drafted in '93.
Mhm.
No, I played with Denver 04 to 7, so he wasn't on those teams.
Yeah.
Because that was like 97 to 99, something
Right.
like that.
Yep.
But yeah, he played on the Bucks for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is he in the Hall of Fame? Not yet. Nope. All right, so that's our picks of the week. What's your overall record? We can make this a little bit interesting. We still got money on that thing, right? If we win, we had to win all 3, so it was voided, right?
No, we had to win the Rams, the Texans,
And so
and the
it's still
Redskins
good. I thought it
still
was
in.
the Cowboys game.
and then
So if the Vikings don't lose a game,
yeah.
right?
If the Vikings don't lose a game, I'm trying to think of what we did.
Yeah, was it 200, right? Something
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
It was something. We'll figure it out.
If the Vikings don't lose and we win all 3, and we still don't get in, then you
Then I owe you $200.
Yeah, but if
yeah.
but
The
if-
odds were in my favor, big time.
not really, because who thought we would beat the Rams?
I did.
What? No one thought it was like what was it, like 90% picked the Rams to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have to see. Alrighty then, those are our picks of the week.
Those are our picks of the week.
We're actually pretty close. are all like for the whole season.
We're not though.
Yes, we are.
Alex Sanji said John Gruden asked Nick Foles in 2012 per draft, "Why do I want to be a player like you on my team?" He responded, "'Cause I'll make your team better."
Okay, that's a pretty basic answer. Was that even worth typing and wasting your energy? sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, he's me.
It's a little harsh.
Chris Garland, my record in picks this year is 137, 85, and 2. I could pull mine up actually. Hold on, I got
Mine is what was his?
137, 85, and 2.
Oh, I'm 138 and 81.
That's not.
I
Good.
missed 2 picks. I missed 2 Thursday night games that were meaningless. But how's that not good, dude? That's like fucking 68%.
Because it's not as good as mine.
Yeah, what are you, like 70%?
That means you're in second place. That means you're the first loser.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
All right, hold on. I got my standings right here. Season standings. Okay, I'm 142, 79, and 2.
So 3 games over me, dude.
Yeah, but I'm almost at the top of this division.
Whatever, dude. It's gonna be like once Sunday's over, I'm gonna be overtaking your picks.
No, you're not.
Because the Vikings.
No, it's not happening.
The Vikings and Cowboys will win. So.
Well, the
I'll
Vikings
I'll
aren't
catch
going
you
to.
there.
The Vikings are going to lose, and the Cowboys are going to lose. So I'm telling you that. What's up, Gary? Yeah, I'm telling you that right now. That's just how it's going to happen. The Cowboys are choke artists, and the Vikings are not good.
I
Well,
know.
yeah. So
We will see.
there you go. So Carter Hart,
Carter Hart, baby.
date your cousin.
Yeah, he dates my cousin.
I don't know how much of that is true, but
I don't know. DM'd her on Instagram apparently.
yeah, does he follow her?
He does not follow. That's the only sketchy thing. But
Yeah.
she's been to 2 games, like sitting right behind the net.
Yeah.
So and she like puts a little heart on her story with Snapchat. So
Yeah.
it looks pretty official to me.
I love Carter Hart. He's not playing well today. But I've liked what I've seen from him
Yeah,
so
2
far.
good games, right? You
Yeah.
said Vontae Max is a stud after 1 game, so
Avonte Maddox is a
2
stud.
2 games for Carter. He
He's a
must be a Hall
stud.
of Famer, right? Let's just pump the brakes on all these young kids.
Well, that's what
and
we do.
let's-
That's what we do in Philly. We ruin players' lives.
What?
That's what we do.
What, by pumping the brakes?
No, by saying that there's something that they aren't. But the thing
Yeah.
is Carter Hart is something. He's the next Martin Brodeur, and he's gonna be a beast. So
He's only 20. You got him for another 20 years.
yeah,
25?
15 maybe.
40? You can't play to 40?
I don't know. It's kind of
Pushing
reaching.
it.
Yeah.
Why? What's hockey? What age do you retire?
Well, Brodeur retired at 41.
Mm,
So I don't know.
it's possible.
Chris Garland said the Cowboys aren't lose. I think they'll lose, man. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think they'll lose either. Even though I'm not, obviously, I don't agree with the Cowboys fan, but
Yeah. All right, so it's time for anything goes. Ask us anything you want. Besides politics, because Scotty will chew up a storm, and yeah.
religion, right?
No,
I think we can always talk about mental health because of the Josh Gordon thing. I think that's definitely something
that's
important.
not mental health though. That's
Well,
him.
they're
not-
turning it into mental health.
That's him not wanting to stay off the
Yeah, but
hookah.
you don't think that's mental health?
Um,
If you literally can't stop when you have millions of dollars right at your
no, that just makes you an
fingertips.
idiot. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you're right. But I think it depends on what he's going through. If it's just marijuana or if it's other drugs.
I don't understand how you could get addicted to marijuana.
You can't.
Okay, like I mean,
You can get addicted to buying it.
yeah,
think.
which is bad.
Which you can addicted to buying anything.
You could get it,
Beer, shopping, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, you know?
but like marijuana. How do you get addicted to marijuana?
You can't literally get addicted to the drug.
Yeah,
I think you just get addicted to like doing it.
yeah.
Like waking up or
Which
having
would
to go
make you
outside.
addicted to the drug.
I guess. I mean, I think cigarettes are definitely addicted because you have nicotine. Nicotine literally is an addictive
Yeah,
drug.
it's big time.
You know, so it's different in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's THC, you can't get your body doesn't really crave that.
I mean, you know
you
more about
know?
that stuff than I do, but I mean, it's just like there has to be something more.
Well, he's definitely
off the field.
He's drinking too, right? Or
Has to
no?
be.
It has to be like
It has to be something else that he's dealing with.
showing up late, hungover,
Yeah.
probably, right? Which you can't do in that $1 million profession.
Especially with Bill Belichick, forget it.
You know, and they said he was about to. They already failed a drug test, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was something. He was there. He was about to get suspended. So that's why he walked away, and then obviously he's suspended now.
Yeah, he's done.
He wasn't as good this year, anyways. I mean, to bring it back to football,
Wasn't good.
He
Are
wasn't.
You kidding
he
me?
wasn't as good as he was for the
Yeah,
Browns.
800 yards.
I don't know, but he wasn't like a highlight reel specialist.
No, he wasn't. You're
you
right.
know?
Nikki Stees asked favorite all-time Eagle. I have two. I have Nick Foles, and I have Brian Dawkins.
That's probably my two. So I have Wentz like a little bit below.
Yeah.
Below those two.
I went all the way to Canton, Ohio to see
that was great.
Brian
that
Dawkins
whole
get
ceremony,
inducted.
it was like once in a lifetime. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah, that was fun.
The speeches were awesome.
Ray Lewis's speech was pretty awesome, too.
They were all good, except for that one old guy. Remember that?
Yeah, that was kind of boring, but, what are you going to do?
It was more entertaining than the UFC fight. I can say that.
Yeah, you don't like fights.
I do if it's entertaining, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to be like emotionally invested.
Yeah.
Which I know you are because you follow them religiously, most of the fighters.
Well, John Jones fights next week. That's going to be fun. John Jones fights Gustafsson, and I think Gustafsson's going to beat John Jones.
Whenever Brock Lesnar comes back, I'll definitely jump in.
Well, he's supposed to fight Cormier.
Yeah.
When they come back. And the Cormier is the guy you just saw. So, yeah.
That'll be entertaining, right?
Exactly.
Will it ever come to Philly is the question, right?
Will it ever come to Philly? I hope it comes back to Philly. It's been there before. But I would love for it to come back to Philly. I really would. Because I'm a huge UFC fan. And, it is. Anything else over there on Facebook?
No, nothing yet. No, you're good.
Nada?
We're good.
Yeah.
Not a Lynch.
And
Lynch, right?
the Sixers
Such
play.
an asshole
The Sixers
sometimes.
play the Raptors.
And you guys lose, but it's all right.
Well,
I wanted to go to the game tonight.
well,
But they're probably tickets probably out.
Sixers are guaranteed to win tonight.
Well, this is a must win.
No, it's a guaranteed win.
Because they've been like tripping up against shitty teams. I want to see them beat
They
a
lost.
competitive team.
Well, you guys better win the
get a
night.
good win.
They don't got Kawhi tonight.
We're
gonna win
Lowry's
tonight.
tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna win, and then we're
Lowry's out
gonna
tonight.
beat the Lakers' ass when they come here in February.
That'll be.
Then we're gonna
You
drop
getting
the
box
fucking
seats?
mic.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You getting
Trying to
box?
get a group special together.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna drop the mic. I'll chip in for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll put some in for that because that'll be fun. Box seats are the real deal. We had some
Yeah,
against
yeah.
the Suns, right?
Yeah, it was. They're awesome to go to. Shitty team with the Suns, but
Yeah.
it's always fun.
Yeah.
I
I mean, you have LeBron
That
James.
ritzy ditzy section though, a little. I mean, I don't know about that.
It's for rich
Philly.
people.
I
that
didn't
don't
do
even
it.
care
What
about the game.
What did I do? I was like, I was like sitting up or something. Like, dude, chill.
Well, everyone wants to fight you.
I just didn't get it. No, it was
Oh,
something
somebody
like,
screamed at you because you sat up?
no, they didn't scream. It was some black lady's like, "Can you sit back, dude?"
Yeah.
Or something like, "Okay." It's
Yeah.
like fucking Philly. We're at a fucking sporting event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, everyone has problems.
Well,
with
yeah,
you.
and then like I put what happened at the what happened at the Danny's tickets. I had my feet on somebody's seat. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know, dude.
You had your foot right here. Like no one else does that. No one else does that but you.
Yeah.
And you have your feet right here, and I guess it's touching her hair. And the
Oh,
guy behind
pulled
you is
it.
like, "Yo,
Pull my
fucking-"
hair out.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we made up and he apologized. Cause,
Yeah, and I think he bought you a beer, right?
Nah, we just shook hands, called a truce.
Yeah.
He's like, I like my hair in my head. I'm like, I do too. Sorry.
Yeah, you were
I
mad.
just can't. I was a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
Not that bad, but
Yeah.
I just can't cut any corners. I would get caught.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, you're at an Eagles game. You're like bound to get into a fight if you run into a really bad person like that. But he was nice, so there you go.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, just tell someone like nicely. Just can you not do that? You don't like use your anger. I know
Yeah.
you're not that way because you're Irish. So
Yeah.
your first instinct is to yell and scream.
No, I'm very like that. I'm very stubborn. I'm very
One time, get the fuck off me. Right? It's
yeah.
not like, can you please put your foot down?
Yeah.
No.
Nah, that's exactly right. No, I mean I can get angry, but I don't try to. It's just
You
one
got
of
a
those
short
things.
fuse.
That's why I box because
That's why you
boxing
got-
brings out the lot of
And
me.
that Nick Foles Carson Wentz debate, that really,
that destroys
really
me.
ticks you off.
That really ticks me off. Like people say it doesn't, it does. Because when people are like, "Oh, you got to put Carson Wentz in," it pisses me off because like I'm a diehard Eagles fan and like everyone's like saying that we should go against what's best for the team, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So
It's nuts.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I don't know how
Foles,
this.
baby.
I don't know how this fan base thinks. but
Foles to the bowl, right?
Foles to the ball.
Foles to the bowl.
Ralphie
right?
would just love that. Ralphie would love that. But
God. All right, I'm about to get out of here in 1 minute. I got work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I know
Yeah.
you're staying on until 3:15, right?
well, the thing is that we have to explain this to the crowd. What happened was, This would have been our second hour, but I think someone hit a tree or something or a pole, and all the power just went out at once. So
The breakers, probably all the Christmas lights too. It's
Yeah.
that time of year.
yeah, so what's going to happen is we are actually going to end the show right now because this would have been the second hour. I have to go to work. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
The holiday edition, pretty
we
good show,
may
man.
we may or may not have a roundtable next week, and if we do, it'll
You're
be
gonna-
my first ever time
you're gonna
meeting
be there.
everybody at the station, and that would be really interesting. So maybe I'll be there. No, I will be there, 100%, and it'll be fun. Thanks, Ralphie, for being on producer. Thank you for joining again, Scotty.
Always
This
glad
was
to
the
be here.
Hooligans. Thank you for joining in,
Go Birds.
and go Birds! Big game tomorrow. See
Beat
you guys
the
later.
Texans.
Bye.